Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back sat in the seat talking about Wrexham Football Club, and yes, you've expected it, it is another transfer video. Today we've got some really interesting topics to be talking about. We have been linked with a striker from a fellow League One side who is a renowned goalscorer at this level, and something that could get very interesting as the transfer window goes on. We're going to be talking about current loanees at Wrexham Football Club. A deal has been agreed for one of our loanees to go elsewhere, and yeah, it's going to be an interesting video. So before we get going, make sure to click the subscribe button if you haven't already. We're on the road to 26,000 subscribers, so if you want consistent Wrexham AFC content, everything regarding Wrexham is coming on this channel across the rest of the season. And let's see if we can hit 350 likes on today's video. And without further ado, let's get talking transfer news. So starting off with a rumour now. According to an exclusive report from the Football League World, Wrexham and Championship side Derby County are both eyeing up a move for Bolton Wanderers striker and current top scorer at the club, Dion Charles, who of course is currently out of favour under Ian Evatt at the Whites, despite registering 10 goals and assists this season. So starting off with a profile on Dion Charles. Now Charles, like I've said at the start of the video, is a well-established goalscorer at League One level and a player who has massively impressed over the past 6 seasons in this division for Bolton Wanderers and Accrington Stanley. Signed for Bolton Wanderers in January 2022, and 3 years later Charles has gone on to score 57 goals in 105 starts for Bolton. He finished as the club's top scorer 2 seasons in a row, like I said, in the 3 seasons that he's been there. So overall, Bolton fans really took him under their wing, and he's just really progressed as a player at this football club. He's scored goals, he's helped Bolton fire them up to the playoffs, although they haven't got promoted from League One. Since Charles has been there, he's scored many goals. Of course, he's been their main source of goals for most of the time that he has been at the football club, and I think it's fair to say his spell at the club has gone very well. And prior to his time at Bolton Wanderers, he spent 3 seasons in League One as well for Accrington Stanley, where he scored 30 goals across 2.5 seasons, playing in a very struggling Accrington Stanley side, a team that probably wouldn't have given him the best service in the world or the best service in the division. And I think that just proves as a striker, he can do it when he's got good service behind him, and when he's got bad service at Accrington Stanley. And overall in League One, he scored 75 goals in 208 games. This man does score goals. I think as well, with Charles having a very good start to the season, and with Bolton struggling under a very questionable manager who has made some questionable comments on Dion Charles, I don't think it's any surprise at all that their clubs are looking at him, and there's a very high possibility that Dion Charles does leave Bolton in this transfer window. He's deserved that Championship move, although I want him to come to Wrexham Football Club. He's had many good seasons in League One, so I think that move up to the Championship is definitely needed for Dion Charles, or whether he wants that challenge of going to a high-end League One side like Wrexham Football Club, who are in and around the mix for the automatic promotion and hopefully get promoted at the end of the season. If he is to leave, which I think he will leave, it is a very big question. Does he leave to a Derby County who might be at the bottom end of the table come the end of the season, or does he go to an exciting project like Wrexham, who are hoping to go up and up and up, and especially up to the Championship this season? Yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. Why should Wrexham Football Club sign Dion Charles? Why would I be happy? Of course, I've said he's a goal scorer that scores goals, etc., and I would be happy with him signing for Wrexham Football Club. And like I said, obviously we're signing him because he's a notorious goal scorer at this level. He scores goals in League One. That is a guarantee with Dion Charles, and he's experienced as well. He's 29 years old, so he knows this league inside out. He's been in it for nearly 7 years now. Previously, with his time at Accrington Stanley, he's proved that he can score goals in good and bad sides. So what we can gather overall from that is that Dion Charles is a natural goal scorer. He will score goals wherever he goes, and I think at this period of the season, options from this league in League One do not get much better than this. I do not think there is a better striker out there that we could sign in the January transfer window from a League One side. Like I said, especially at this time in the season where Bolton aren't at the best. He's their top scorer. They're hopefully going to push on under Ian Evatt, whether that be under him or not. They want to push on and get playoffs at the end of the season. So it's a big opportunity to get a well-established League One striker in through the door, especially with him becoming available. Ian Evatt obviously fancies Aaron Collins and John McAtee over Dion Charles, so we need to get in there, get him signed, and hopefully get him to Wrexham Football Club scoring goals and helping us fight to promotion. And having watched clips from Charles' goal scoring games this season, he looks to have a great eye for goal. He's a powerful runner when carrying the ball forward, good with the ball at his feet, but I think as well his movement as well off the ball, inside the box to create that chance, and just overall across the pitch, like I said, to create those openings seems like to be one of his main attributes. Watching him make that darting run in behind the defence and then finishing off the shot, I think he'll be a striker that offers, of course, a lot of movement up front. He'll be that Jack Marriott type of player who'll be consistently running, and that man that has a really sharp eye for goal. I don't think there's any hiding the fact that this would be such a big addition, bringing a player of his experience into League One and into our campaign, as we do currently sit third in the league. And we're in a position now that is so promising that we could, achieve that automatic promotion come the end of the season, something we didn't think was possible. And I think the final piece in the jigsaw of that is to bring in another striker. Yes, you can say we've got the options at the minute. I do think we've got good options up front. I think we do need another striker, and getting a striker like Dion Charles, who has scored goals previously, is going to be a massive, massive boost, and I can't stress that enough. It would be huge to get him into the football club, and I do genuinely think it would help us get across the line. Yeah, and like I said before, Bolton I don't think would have much of an issue letting Dion Charles go because he's out of favour. Ian Evatt has said some questionable words about him, and with Bolton not doing well, it doesn't seem to be a good environment to be in at the minute when you've got a championship side and a high-end League One club who are just going up and up and up, and it's a very good environment at Wrexham Football Club. It seems like Dion Charles will eventually leave Bolton Wanderers, whether it be in the next coming days or whether that's at the end of the transfer window. I do strongly believe he will leave. As long as Wrexham Football Club can strike the right deal and the right price for Dion Charles, this would be a huge, huge signing. But would Bolton Wanderers want to sell to a quote-unquote direct promotion rival? Would they prefer to sell him to a championship side other than a Wrexham, who is only going to boost our season and possibly knock their chances of getting a playoff spot? So that's another question you've got to ask. But like I said, if the money's there, if Wrexham put a right bid in, I do think Bolton will accept. So talking on our loanees now, there's some big news across two of our loanees, three in fact, that we will get talking on now, starting with Billy Waters. Now, Billy Waters has returned to Wrexham Football Club after his loan spell ended at National League side Halifax Town. Halifax manager Chris Millington was hoping to extend Billy Waters' contract on loan until the end of the season, which hasn't happened. But in a surprise turn of events, Billy Waters is set to make the permanent switch to National League side Oldham Athletic for a deal that will require them to pay a fee to Wrexham Football Club to secure Waters' services, which I think is genuinely crazy because we've done really well to get money for Billy Waters considering he's out of contract at the end of the season. So I did not see this coming at all. Billy Waters scored 5 goals in I think 21 games for Halifax in his short loan spell there. So, he scored goals, but I did not think we would be getting money for Billy Waters in the January transfer window. It's definitely an interesting one because, like I said, they'll have to pay a fee for him, and I'm very curious to know what the fee will possibly be. I don't think it will be 6 figures. I genuinely do not think it will be 6 figures. I don't think we'll be that reluctant or that tight on pricing when it comes to selling Billy Waters. I think Waters was actually playing a behind closed doors game this afternoon for Oldham Athletic against Fleetwood Town, so the deal is all but done. We wish Billy Waters the best at his new permanent chapter at Oldham Athletic. It didn't work out in a Wrexham shirt, which is a shame because he seemed to be a very popular person around the dressing room, and yeah, it's a massive shame. It happens in football, but let's hope Billy Waters can go to Oldham, score goals and fire them to promotion. And moving on to our next loanee, Jake Bickerstaff. Bickerstaff's loan at National League side Altrincham is set to be extended until the end of this season, which I think is definitely very surprising because I was kind of expecting Bickerstaff to come back to Wrexham and possibly be shipped off elsewhere because it's not been a very successful loan spell in Manchester. He's only got the 1 goal to his name in 12 National League appearances, but I do think there could be a reason for this loan extension for Jake Bickerstaff. Now, there's strong rumours that their current striker and top scorer Regan Linney is leaving Altrincham in this transfer window, so Bickerstaff could possibly have been, told that he could have more of a predominant role in the starting 11, more of a consistent role playing games. So if that's something that has been discussed between Altrincham and Wrexham Football Club, I don't see why this deal could have been cut short. I'd love to see Bickerstaff play more of an important role going forward because I think Altrincham will need to make that late surge for promotion to the National League, and if this is the case, let's hope Bickerstaff can get in the starting 11 scoring goals under Phil Parkinson. Like I said, it would just be nice to see Bickerstaff get in there playing consistently even and just scoring goals because he's a player that has a lot of talent and we're not seeing it at the minute on loan at Altrincham, but for this second half of the season there's a big chance we could. I'm talking now on our final loanee, Sam Dolby. Some big news. The man is on fire up in Scotland for Dundee United. Everyone was kind of expecting him to stay there until the end of the season, but Phil Parkinson has come out in an interview and said they are making a decision this week on whether Sam Dalby stays at Dundee until the end of the season or comes back to Wrexham Football Club. And this is my thinking of this. I think Wrexham currently have possibly 2 or 3 strikers on their radar, and if we don't get the players we want in this transfer window, if we don't get the players we want coming up in the next week, I think Dalby could be that sort of backup option to bring back if we don't get our current strikers in that we do want. So this is definitely a really interesting situation, because a lot of us were thinking that Dalby would have stayed up in Scotland. I still do think he will stay up in Scotland, but are we going to be selfish? Are we going to be ruthless and bring Sam Dalby back to Wrexham Football Club to play a big role now in our late surge for promotion to the Championship? It is a very interesting situation. Let me know in the comment section down below, will we see Sam Dalby back in the Wrexham shirt by this time next week? Oh, I really don't know. I genuinely do not know at all. 10 goals this season up in Scotland. You know, they're providing him really good service. His confidence is sky high. He is lethal in front of goal at the minute, and I never thought I'd be saying that, but Sam Dalby could genuinely come back to Wrexham Football Club and be one of our main striker options. So, like I said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. It's an interesting situation and one that you need to keep your eye on. So yeah, that is it for today's video. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think on the possible signing of Dion Charles? I'm sure a lot of you will be slightly happy to hear this news. Of course, it's just a rumour, it's far from done, but if there is any truth in it, I think it could be a really good signing and give us that extra step towards promotion to the Championship. Let me know your thoughts on Billy Waters as well. Wrexham receiving a fee for Waters. Like I said, it's all going off in the January transfer window. Let's hope we can finally get someone signed on the dotted line. Enough of this speculation, enough of the rumours. As much as it's good providing these videos for you, I want to see a signing, I want to see that HP printer out. But until then, take care guys, up the town. So just as I was editing this video and about to put it up onto YouTube, there were a couple of bits of news that I thought I'd just say about. Supposed Wrexham target Joe Gelhardt is currently having a medical ahead of a move to Championship side Hull City, so Gelhardt is not on his way to Wrexham Football Club. I'm absolutely gutted, because I thought this would have been such a good addition, bringing that youth into our striking department, but some people could favour experience and goal scoring history over, you know, a youth player who's not really proven himself, but I think he would have been such a good addition into our League One side and into the League One in general, because he would have been an absolute cheat code there, and I do think he'll do very well at struggling Hull City in the Championship. Wrexham are also set to go all out to sign Sheffield Wednesday striker Michael Smith, who has 9 goal contributions this season for Sheffield Wednesday in just 9 appearances for the Owls. So, you know, it was a player that we were linked with in the summer transfer window. Parky is a massive fan, so there'll be a video coming out on that tomorrow. There's so much transfer news going on, there's so much speculation, I cannot keep up with it. You know, I'll do a video 1 minute on one player and then news will come out, so it's keeping me busy. I really enjoy this time of year, and I'm sure we'll see the HP contract printer come out more than once in the next coming weeks. So yeah, that's the end of the video now, I promise. Take care guys, and I'll see you in the next one.